Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Ink and Whimsy. Let's have some fun today. We're going to be using the Weekend Adventures workshop from Stampin' Up. I am just using this for inspiration, and this is all I have left in this workshop. I'm excited to document a girls' trip I took with my mom and my sister to Washington State, and we took a drive along the North Cascades, and we stopped in this beautiful little town called Winthrop, Washington, and it looks like a Western town. It's as if you have stepped back in time and you'd see Jesse James walking down the street. Here are two of the stamp sets we're going to be using for pieces of ephemera. You could see it right here and here. Frosted Forest, Peaceful Evergreens, Old Olive, and Pecan Pie. And I'm going to tell you right now, I spent 30 minutes because I like to show you all what I'm using to try to find this die. I can't find it anywhere. So I have no idea what cut this out. I know it's like right under my nose somewhere, but I have opened up the stamp sets, closed them, and now you start looking at the same places over and over again, and it just gets stressful. So I just stopped. All right, now look at these photos of this town. It looks just like a Western, doesn't it? We're going to put together page A, and we'll do the big reveal for page B. Here's Mom and I sharing a cinnamon roll. For some reason, she kept thinking she deserved more than her half of the cinnamon roll. Now I ask you, is that fair? This comes out of the actual workshop because you get stickers and you also get pieces of ephemera that you just punch out. And this is what we're going to use as our title, and we are going to work a little bit on all this right here to make it fit with the page and the look I'm trying to get. So right now I'm going to move all this out of the way, and if you know where I got those from, tell me if you know what stamp and die set. It's driving me bonkers. Let me put these over here. We'll keep the stamp pads out. These are the only pieces of cardstock we're going to use right there. You know me, I like to keep things simple. Simple and fun. And let's put these right here. Let's put our ink pads over here. And let's have some fun getting started, shall we? All right, the first thing I did is I took my sander. Paper Therapy with Amy showed me how to do this in one of her videos. It is the coolest thing. And I went around the edges. Now you just hold it at the edge and you do small circular motions to get that nice edge going all the way around. It gives it a rustic look. So anytime I want the rustic look, this is what I'm going to use. We are going to secure this down. Okay, let's do this top. It's funny, sometimes I will actually flip this page over and it's like vanilla on both sides or it's white on both sides, but it's just a habit, isn't it? I'm going flipping it over. All right. Curious if any of you have been to Winthrop and what you thought of it. I would go back. It was just such a neat place to visit. I love places that take me back in time like that. I don't know about you, but I just think those are just fun places to visit. All right, now with this, we are not, you know what I want to do? I want to go around these edges with some pecan pie to give this a little bit more color. I could be making a mistake. I better stop. I'm getting all excited. All right, I don't think it'll make a difference. See the other page, page B, does not, the whole page is this, so you don't see the edges anyways. But I think this will look good on page A, so we're going for it. And this does not take long. So if you could go back in time, just like Winthrop, it's not really back in time, but it's a place that makes you feel like you are. Would you rather go to a Western era, a 1950s era, What are some other errors? All right, you're going to have to come up with it. If you could go for a visit, you don't got to live there. Just go for a visit. You know, what's that movie we all watched when we were younger? Back to the Future. Where would you go? Y'all know me. I would go to the 1950s. I just think it is the coolest thing. All right, now here you definitely have a direction. So we are going to be very conscientious of that. And on the back, it has all these cute little acorns. We're going to put this so that it fits about right here on the 11 and the 1. A little more room on the bottom. There we go. All right, now this is a piece of ephemera. It was the sticker. So what I did is I unstuck it so I could move it around. We're going to put this one right up here underneath this. And all I want showing is the time is precious. There we go. I want that right there. Now these, which I am telling you is bothering the heck out of me. I don't know where I cut these from. And I have a whole bunch of them cut, for goodness sake. It was just too funny. Whatever. It's one of those things. Can't let it bother me that much, can I? All right. I want to stick this right here in this corner. And we're going to have a photo that's going to go over the top of this right here. Okay. Now we're going to take this. This was this wide. I cut it down the middle because I needed to bring something over onto these edges to bring a little more color. So that's the purpose of this. And you'll see it on the other side also. Now I really should put down my photo. Let's do that first. And this is one of those storefronts there. It's pretty cool. It's just pretty cool, isn't it? All right, I want this about right here. Let's just make sure it's straight. Yes. All right, and then we're going to put this right underneath here. And scoot that down so that's straight. Ah! What do they call it? Fat fingers? They just kind of get in the way, don't they? It still looks crooked. Is that better? That's better. All right, let's lay that down. All right, now I want to put this photo of Mom. And she was just so funny how she kept wanting more of her share. She's my mom, for goodness sake. She should be giving me more of hers. Don't you agree? Then we're going to have a talk with Mom. And it was, oh my gosh, it was a beautiful fall morning. It was such a fun place to be. All right, so now we're going to take this and I'm going to use my scissors instead on this. This is another way to sand it down. And I'm just going to go along the edges because I want to show a bit of that white core. And this was a piece of the ephemera that comes in the workshop. All right, here we go. Let's go down the edge. And it was just a perfect title. I loved how it was big. Now, usually with the ephemera pieces that you get with Stampin' Up, you know how they have the white, I think maybe even it's the stickers. It'll have more of the white edge around it. I will trim it closer so not as much as that white is showing. And then on these pieces, there's no white at all. So I give it the white. And it's not as easy doing it on the corners here. I may have to use that sander just a little bit. Let's do it right here. This corner. There we go. And then this corner. And this one. Very gentle. Very gentle. All right. Now this right here, I want to attach it to this, but I think I also want to go over these edges. I definitely want this looking rougher. So let's do this. This one I want really to look rough. So I'm going to show you this technique. We're going to take this sanding brush. I just decided to look up and make sure I was filming. That could be a bad day. Now see how I'm just doing short circular motions? And you just cut out a piece of sandpaper in the shape of a circle that'll fit the top of one of these right here and glue it on. Now it has to glue overnight because you want it to be nice and secure. But if you want a rustic sandpaper look, Amy, I'm grateful to you, my friend. Okay. And here we go. Let's move this over. Oh, now see, doesn't that look cool? All right, so now we're going to attach this right in the middle of it. And look how that just changes it. I love it. Okay, let's stick this in here. Right there. All right, now we're going to go down just here in the middle because I have things that I want to attach. And this is going to go a little bit up into the photo. We're going to go like this, I think, right here. Because see, that is something I don't need to show on the page. I think it's the end. They're covering up the trash bins. We do not need the trash bins in my photo, so I do not mind on my scrapbook spread covering it. All right, now look at my idea for these trees. Oh, you're going to say, Laura, you are so genius sometimes. Look at where we are going to put them. And again, this isn't even important right here, right? But I want it in between the two of them because here we have the top of the table. That's not important. I'll put that right there. All right. This comes in the scrapbook kit. So we are going to place these along here because I have this same piece on page B. We're going to put this over here. Now, I'm going to have to make sure I put them straight. So I think I'm going to use my T-square ruler. And we know that's right there. So then all we're going to do, my friends, is put this right here because this is the end I want showing. Slip it under there. Put this right here. So it shows me exactly where to put it. And I want it coming off the page just a little bit. Add a little more, what do you got? Interest? How about the word interest? I think that sounds good. All right, let's put our next two photos down. Oh, I need to get this stuff out of the way. It just doesn't look as attractive for you. How is that? Here is the second storefront, the wine shed. I wish we were back in our cabin in the evening, but it would have been fun going here to that wine place. So I want to put this at about actually, I want to put it right here. I am just living on the wild side. Right here, I think. Because I want a little bit of the green showing and a little bit of this, but I do want these lined up. Let's see. Or you know what? I don't. Because it makes it look even more interesting when it's not. And I have a cluster to put down there. So we're going to go just like that. I'm making another command decision. We're going to put this one over here. And that's going to come down a little bit because I do not want to cover up the, whatever you call this, the top, because it's not a steeple, it's not a church. This looks more like a saloon. And I think this was the drugstore we went in. That was pretty cool. All right, we're going to put this piece right under this photo. Make sure that's straight. And then this one right here is going to go, you know, and when I did this originally, I had it under there, but there's not enough room. So maybe we'll put it right there. I don't know. We might not add it at all. Let's put these up and see what happens. Now, this tree I made with this stamp set. Let me show you. So I stamped it. Oh gosh, you can do the, whatever you call this. Can't think of it right now. I'm still trying to remember where those other pieces come from. So you stamp it, and I used Old Olive, and then I stamped it with Mossy Meadow. So I had more of a distinction on the branches. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let's put this down. And again, there's a picnic table right there, so I don't mind one way or the other if I cover up that section. And then these trees are from this stamp set. And I cut them out with these dies right here. Peaceful Evergreens. All right, so let's see. We want this tall green one in the back. I'm not sure where to put that piece now, since I kind of lived on the wild side and didn't follow my true format. Oh, I'm going to move this up a little bit. All right. And then this one, I want the green first. Let's do this. I tried to mix up the color of the greens. I'm going to put this right here. And then this one. And there is the correct side. All right. Okay. Put this right here. Oh, that looks so pretty. All right. All right, let's figure out, do we even need this? Should I put it right here? No, it just blends in. I don't want it there. I don't want it there. It's too double. It's too double. Right there. That actually looks kind of cool. That's where we're putting it. Looks good. Looks good in my book, but now it's got to be even. Oh, okay, let's see. And I want a little bit of the green showing. So then I think I should tuck the other one in more. Let's see. First of all, let's make sure it's even. Hey, I did pretty good considering. Okay. I need to do it from the bottom. Let's work smarter, not harder. There we go. Okay. And I'm wondering, should I scoot that one in a little more? You're going, Laura. I have so many other things I'd rather be doing with my time. Okay. I am going to pause the video. I'm probably driving y'all crazy. I just want to start off by saying you are welcome, because that like to drove me bananas. Because every time I just get it set, I touch it and it would move a little bit. It was driving me crazy. All right, don't go anywhere. We're going to do the big reveal, and I'm going to show you page B. And what's exciting is we met this delightful young lady who had taken a school bus and totally renovated it, and she was living in it and driving cross country. So I took her photo. She had just met this young man. I think they had fallen in love, and I have that as a hidden photo on page B along with the school bus. You ready for the big reveal? Remember, we were in Winthrop, Washington. I used the Weekend Adventures workshop kit from Stampin' UP. I did not have much paper left. I don't know what I'm going to be able to create with this one. I may need to buy another packet of paper. But here we go. I'm going to read you the story real quick, and then I'm going to pull up this piece right here, this photo that shows you the young lady we took a picture of who had converted her school bus. Here's the story, so be sure to take a photo if you want some inspiration. After a beautiful drive through the North Cascades National Park on our first ever girls trip, we stopped in Metho Valley to visit the small western town of Winthrop. The entire town, with its wooden boardwalks and historic storefronts, is styled to look like a frontier town from the late 1800s. And as you're strolling the boardwalks yourself, clad in your jeans, ball cap, and sneakers, you truly expect to see Billy the Kid or Jesse James coming towards you with the clinking sound of their spurs and outlaw gunslinger gait. It was a picture-perfect fall morning. We had stopped for a coffee and cinnamon rolls from Sherry's Sweet Shop. Mom, however, kept deciding that she deserved more than her half of her shared cinnamon roll. All right, Mom, have another forkful. And then, so full of sugar, she decided to ride the Bronco. Saddle up, Mom. She was just having so much fun. She turns 87 this year. Later that afternoon, we met Sarah, who for the past few years has traveled the U.S. in her personally renovated school bus. What a fun YouTube channel she could have. And here is sweet Sarah. I'm so glad I got her story. This is the young man she met. I don't know anything else about her, but this was her school bus. And she had it renovated, that it had a bathroom, it had a sink, it had a bed. Is that not the coolest story? I love it. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed seeing these two come together. Until we meet again, God bless. Have an incredible day. Stay scrappy, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.